Welcome to Fraud Exposed. My name is Lori Maddock from Credit Education Consultants, and today I'm going to be speaking with my cyber fraud expert, Wynn. And if you want to avoid fraud or want to know what you can do if you've been a victim, I want you to stay with us because we don't want you to get ripped off. So we're going to be talking today about the dark web, what it is, and why you should be alert to what can be done to you through the internet and through the dark web. So, Win, can you introduce yourself and a little bit about you?
Thank you. My name is Win Win. I'm a founder of Cyber Armor, and I'm also founder of scamtips.com, tips, where we focus in the dark web huntings and protecting everyone. So,
All right. Well, we've talked, before the show, and one of the things I've been fascinated with for a while is the dark web. Okay. It actually sounds like that to me, the dark web. So in my mind, I picture, like the underverse
mhm.
and, a black screen and people are selling your personal information and they're brokering it. And yeah, I'm curious what it looks like, but I want you to actually explain what is the dark web and if you know any history about like how it came to be and what goes on with it.
Yeah. So the term dark web used to be um, a, a, a s- a place, a network where the search engine like the Google doesn't index, right? It's a hidden type of network where you have to use a specific software to access it. So such as like a Tor browser. So Tor is um, similar to like VPN, but it's more as a next generation type VPN where it stay very hidden and they have their own network where you have a different type of URLs, like they call onion, that you able to access it. And so yeah, it's a place that search engine unable to index it and to show it to you. Now, the term kind of misleading when people talking about the dark web, right? For a noble people, when we think of the dark web, they really think about a place where criminals stay in, right? And that now is changing significantly. So there's a lot of forums or location under surface web, which is just a forums that people can access to, and those are where the criminal communicating with each other. The latest popular one is the chatting, like Telegram. So a lot of the um, communication activities of criminal are moving to the Telegram, the social media like the Facebook also. So there's a lot of Facebook group that talking or communicating, sharing or selling information, openly. So it's not really a dark web anymore. It's a really a mix and it's more open type of activities now.
All right, so it sounds like it's a totally private thing, and it's somewhat illegally used, but maybe also legally used both. But how, like for example, if I wanted to access the dark web, I mean, can anyone log into it? Do I buy certain software? Is there any purpose for a regular person to do that?
From a if we talking about like some of the dark web type of um website that's in the Tor network, then you would need a Tor browser, and that is openly free, available for you to download. And once you have that, you're able to access all the website, within it. As for the surface web or like Facebook, if you go on Facebook right now and you're using some of the term, you can join those group and you will be able to join and being involved in those type of activities as well. Um, Even on LinkedIn, or Twitter, I should say, Twitter. A lot of the actor actively advertising their service in on LinkedIn. So you can,
Okay.
using searching term for it, and you're able to communicate with them directly. So yeah,
That's
this is pretty
interesting.
open. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to do it because, I'm not really a computer person like you. And with my luck, I would log into it and, everything would just go haywire. And I don't know, it would make me nervous. But, what is the purpose of it? I mean, the things that I hear associated with it are a lot of scams, selling personal information, and that, it's hard to track these people that do it. So, if I were a scammer, or I would want to go to the dark web, right? And that's where I would find information, like where they're brokering people's personal information from when companies are hacked. And I know you prevent companies from being hacked. And I think more people should talk to you because every day I read on the news about these different companies that are being hacked. A lot of times they're companies I do business with. And you know what? Once your personal information is out there, it's out there, and you're going to spend every day for the rest of your life, because that's what I do, monitoring every single thing.
Mhm.
And so tell me about the purpose of it, because I know you have a remedy for that. You're doing, little newsletter or subscription type thing for a fee where it monitors. So let's go with that.
Yeah, so there's variety of reason originally, is a way for criminal or hackers to share information across, or collaboration, right, in doing different type of things like researching or malwares. Um, but now in this day, it's been a lot more frost, frosting activities or scamming type of activity. So there's multiple group that you can classify. It's not just everyone in the dark web is criminal, right? They just don't want people to know what they're doing or just hide themselves. But from a criminal standpoint, yeah, you can go in the dark web or the um, clear some of these forums, and you're able to purchase everything from people PII information, right? Social security, birthday address, and those allow them to create, a profile and um, try to apply for a loan, for example, or apply for a new bank account under someone else's name. And this allowed them to either steal money by applying for the credit card and loan, or they can send money over to those account and they can take those money out. So it's kind of like a mule-ish type of activities. You can also hacker also able to purchase like bank's credential, username and password.
Oh
So
my gosh.
for only a few dollars, right? For about $5, $10, or $100, depend on the account, how much in money in the account. So they're able to purchase the username and password and email credentials as well. And they're able to log into this account and performing the fraud by sending money out or taking um, you know sending the Zelle money transfer. So yeah, there's all type of activities that you can do that um, people need to aware of, so to be protective of themselves.
Right now, you're putting together a subscription service, which is relatively inexpensive. I can tell you that as a credit consultant, because I pay about 35 bucks a month, and I have a great service if I want to monitor my credit. I don't always, for my purposes, I don't need to do that every single month. But it's a lot of money, and it does monitor the dark web. And I've sent you stuff when I see it now, because I get a little panicky. But you're doing something for very little money, where if people want to be monitored on a subscription service, like it's next to nothing basically, where you have a system that will monitor the dark web for them and let them know if they've been breached. So tell me about
Yeah.
that.
So I have two service. So on my um company size is I monitor dark web, providing intelligence for financial institution to help financial institution protect their customer. But as we explore into into the scamming world, where not a lot of people understanding scam and how it works and how to protect themselves. So I start out a new website called scams.tips, where I do write up about how to protect themselves, the consumer, us, how to protect ourselves, and some of the new or latest type of scam going on that they can see and understand, so they can protect themselves better. And they can subscribe that newsletter free of charge. For 59 a year, I believe, they can subscribe as a premiums. And I would using my platform to monitor their activities, right? That the footprint in the dark web. So if their username, their email being exposed in the dark web, then I would inform them and provide guidance into hopefully protect them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's a great service. So I still have a few more questions, but at the end of the show, maybe you could put up the links for the subscriptions so people can click on and see what it is that you offer. Are you able to show us what the dark web looks like? Can you do a share screen, or do you want to put
Yeah,
that in?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Let
This will be
me,
exciting for me. I've been waiting for this, so
okay, give me a second. Can you see the screen?
I can.
So so this is I'm going to use in a browser, but this is a website for breach forums. So I think a
Okay.
few days ago you sent me a newspaper on a guy, right? The owner of the breach forums being sentenced for 5 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I send you everything now.
so so that is the old breach forum. So within a day or two, they automatically, another hacker able to spawn up a new one very quickly. And
Okay.
this is the latest one, where in the same type of format where they providing breach information. So this is in the dark web with the onion, right? So you need a tall type of software to access this. And as you've seen here, the name is kind of very hidden, so you need to know specific address for it. And the ending of it is in .onion.
I
And the
gotcha. And
primary, go
yeah,
ahead.
it looks exactly like I thought. Black,
Yeah.
dark, the dark web black with white print. It's the reverse of what you normally see. Okay.
Yeah. So in here, the main content of this forums is leaks information. So in here, they posting sharing database leaks. So when hacker compromise a companies and they steal the database, they would be able to share it in here. And then there's
Oh my
also
gosh.
stealers logs, or malware stealer. So hacker would infect a user with a malware, and this malware called stealer stealing all the username and password, right? And they would be able to share it in here where people can another hacker can use it to log into those servers like the bank's account and able to steal money from there. So let me go into the database real quick. Now this is
Okay.
gonna take a little bit long because it's in the onion, in the Tor network. So it's it goes through a lot of hop to different server to hide themselves, right? So it's take a little bit longer than a normal standard website
All right. So let me ask you a question. So
access.
when you talk about uh, just real quick while it's doing
Hmm.
that, VPNs are basically ways to hide your
Hmm.
IP address from your computer. So if you're a bad person, you can do that through multiple VPNs,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
And
So
yeah. Okay.
so VPN is, you can think of it, you have two system, right? Two systems involved. One is you connect to a VPN server, one server, and from that server connecting to a website. So that's only one hop. Using a Tor network, they can jump multiple hops. So from your computer to another server, to another server, to another server, to another server, then outside to the internet. So as you've seen, there's a lot more hop in between. There's a lot more server in between. So it's harder for you to for law enforcement to track backward, right? Because it's a
That
lot
was
more place that you going through it. So
well, that was my next question is, why doesn't the FBI shut down the dark web or the people on it? I mean, I interviewed an FBI agent years ago, and this is a lot, probably 8 years ago, and I remember him saying they just don't have enough people. But how come they can't shut this information down? Is it because of those VPNs?
Um, from from the finding identify these user, yes, is really harder for us to identify, because if you think about it, you have to get permission to access the server, right?
Hmm.
Once you access the server, you have to identify all the IP address, all the where and when they connected from. So you tracing back is take a significant resource to be able to do something like that.
I gotcha. Now, how can people protect their information? I mean, we talked a little bit, you have your subscription. When I find out, like on my monitoring service, that I'm on the dark web, then it's like a scare every week, that something is popping up.
Yeah.
So I know, like, finding out if you're on the dark web for me right now comes through credit monitoring, but your service sounds perfect for that. And the scams tips, how do you know? What if you're not doing any kind of monitoring and you want to know that you're on the dark web? I mean, if you Google yourself, are things going to show up that you wouldn't have seen otherwise? I know, like, from the credit standpoint, uh people get strange phone calls and things like that,
Mhm.
but is there a way to know that you're on it unless you're doing monitoring, or not really?
Um, yeah, you can search around. My best advice is expect all your information to be out there, right?
Yeah,
So
I agree.
we as you see in here, like the limeleads.com, 40 million USA B2B leads database leaked here. So there's 40 million information of PII information in this database that the hacker can leverage to perform phishing, identities, stealing the
Right,
identities, or just spamming them, right? Just sending them um, phishing campaign to attack them. And out of this 40 millions, likely 4% of those people gonna click on it. So imagine
right,
4% of these 40 million is significant, right?
right,
And they
exactly.
also can, if they're able to hack some of these people, they're able to jump from that server to using those account to fix all their contacts as well. So it's a very spiral exponential type of problem. Um, in here, as you've seen, there's another website with 800,000 information on here. Um, so yeah, is here's a 4.8 million user belong to Bank of America. So
Oh
user
my gosh.
ID, first name, and balance, right? So with this information, since you know this user, or if you have the email of this user, and you know that they are from Bank of America, hacker gonna start sending them Bank of America fish, right? And
Right.
this would allow they would have a high success rate of you know getting the user information from here. So
Yeah, I got one of those emails and it looked so real. The URL everything looked real, but as soon as I see that little blue box in the middle that says verify my information. I know at that point, it's not real. Let me ask you one last question.
Mhm.
So, you were showing the dark web, and it's basically pretty much impossible to find these people. But I assume on the dark web, there's a seller of information and there's a buyer of information.
Mhm.
How are they doing a monetary transaction? Is that not showing up anywhere as well? Like if I'm the bad guy and I want to sell you the information, how is that happening where there's not traceable to the monetary transaction?
That's the latest thing, the beauty of using crypto. So a lot of these site like some of the Russian website where they have a marketplace where they have the forms being in the middle that they validate everything for you. So the seller doesn't know directly of the buyer. But a lot of these now, they using crypto, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, to send money around there. Um, from a newer generation of fraudster on like Telegram, they communicate with the buyer or seller directly, and they sometimes they negotiate, and they using typical like PayPal, right? So
Oh
it's
my
not just a
God.
crypto anymore. It's the PayPal, the Zelle type where criminal able to transfer, because in the bank guys, it's just two-person sending money over. They doesn't know the reason for it, so it's very
Right.
harder to track.
It's one of the reasons I don't use any of those cash type apps because I don't trust them. But I think for a future show, I'd like to talk about crypto and Bitcoin because it's a topic I don't know a lot about. A lot of people don't know a lot about. I've not done it because I've only heard bad stories. I haven't
Oh,
heard any good stories. So I think that's upcoming. Is there any final
yeah.
advice you have for people?
Um, yeah, is understand the risk out there as much as you can. Go to scams.tips where you can learn about some of this method that hacker use, and just be aware and protect yourself, and using different type of control like the multi-factor authentication to protect yourself as much as you can. But the number one thing is, if you don't expect it, don't click on it.
Right. Good advice. And we're going to talk about multi-factor authentication in the next show. So I want to thank you for answering all my questions today and joining me. And stay with us. And we're going to have another show coming up shortly. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.